Give him a l'chaim. Hey, Kobe. Finish it. Assume you make good kosher Yiddish geld from that. Somebody will buy it. Don't worry. They'll pay good kosher Yiddish geld. That'll be just the beginning. There'll be a lot of Yiddish geld. That's just the beginning. Of a lot of Yiddish geld. There'll be other Megillas, other geld, and other. L'chaim, no, l'chaim, Kobe. No, does anybody know a nigger? I was thinking a nigger. I've let you off the string for a little while.
Shimon Leibovitz asked everybody to say l'chaim for us.
What's his name?
Shimon ben Elsa.
Elsa.
Shimon ben Elsa. Shimon ben Elsa asked everybody to say l'chaim. Unfortunately, he can't come here because it's hard for him to move.
He should be well.
He should be well.
Amen. Amen.
You should be able to jog over.
You should be able to jog over here.
Chaim. Should be with Atzlocha Gedola. Whatever he does should be with Atzlocha Gedola.
I want to end another bracha for Mashver. Well, his name is Nuri Saeed Ben Mazala.
Hi.
I want a bracha benefit here. Menachem Mendel Halev Ben Rachel. Should after 8 years of marriage, so be able to buy the dira.
Oh man. Well, first of all, you should have some guilt. First of all, there's all the guilt to cover the
Everybody has left the out to buy all the kids' zeros.
Amen.
Timely brought.
The old days. It's like the old days.
Changed. Yeah.
How's the yeshiva?
It's well known in several of the moments that the Rebbe spoke about the Nitzochen, the Sforim, the victory, when they get to the Sforim. The Rebbe said if you want to know and you want to understand the Nitzochen with the Sforim, then you have to ask the Sforim themselves. It's a bitui. From the Rebbe, you have to ask the Sforim themselves. What do they say? And the Pashtus Ha'inyan, well, that means you gotta learn this for him. Therefore, the Rebbe stressed that the Ika Netzochen of Sforim is people learning them. That Alideh they were B'Shevi, and they were B'Shevi the Sforim. Well, that means that people weren't able to learn them. They're Karoi. If there's a Pidyon Shvuim for the Sforim, and they get released and they get brought back to Kaviyachol to their freedom, then the freedom is that we have to learn this for him. And that's the Sha'ila hates us for him. What do they say? He doesn't say. Pirush Hadova, point is that if you learn a sefer, which is from the Rebbeim, and a sefer which is shayat to the Rebbe, and it's got a shaykhis gluya and amitiyas to the Rebbe, then that'll tell you what the inyan for Netzochen is. And that'll tell you what is the inyan of the amitiyas. Then you'll feel what a terrible thing it was that they were b'shevi and b'shivyo, and then you'll feel what is the Netzochen that they're no longer b'shivyo. If you don't learn the Sforim and Makostet nicht, in Yonim, which so then, to even, you might even ask yourself, Makola Rash or Godel Hazeh, so if Sforim got brought back to the right library, that's it. But if you get involved and you see what the Sforim are all about, and you see every sefer befrat, a sefer that's from our Rebbeim, and it's from the Shemen HaToya, Amiti, that was Miskale in Yutis Kislev. But Yutis Kislev was the Kiloi, but the Rebbe brings one of the Devar Malchus and from Chanukah. The Rebbe brings that Shemen is a very high in Kabbalah and Kiloi Pnimis HaTorah. Most of the time people would just eat shemen mixed together with other foods. You don't just sit and drink shemen. And on the contrary, in the Gemara, if you drink shemen zayas, it can even be damning if you drink too much of it. In other words, shemen is not meant to be drank openly, it's meant to be mixed with other food. And therefore the shitta and the gisha was to mix the Kabbalah with the nigla and every now and then to be manoited a few sparks of the Kabbalah into the nigla away from Klori. It was the gisha. The Yuftuf and Yutis Kislev was an amazing achievement that you actually drink the shem itself and it becomes part of you in a way that doesn't do you any harm. On the contrary, that is Tachlis Amazin, with Tachlis Kolam Mazinas, is to be Mamshik the Yonim V'Pinimis, and you take the shemen Kamoy Shehu. It's like if you drink the shemen and it becomes part of you. And that's in you from Limud. Pnimis Torah, it will call Echad Me Yisrael. It's not just something that was for a chosen few, which was meant to be that way. And the result was Makala, the mitzvah actual. Ato legala is a chokma. That the Rebbe brings in Geras HaTshuva, in Geras HaKodesh, chapter 26, that the result was Makala now, mitzvah legala is a chokma. That comes like the food and drink of everybody in a way that you can take it away your mashki straight. You can derive direct influence from the shemen. Islam that whole inyan and the necessity of the shemen HaToya in Torah for the good of Chassidim and for the good of the world gradually, well, that came to its high point in this whole amazing saga of Teves. But if you take into account the trial took months. It's not just something that happened in a few weeks. They looked at a few papers and they compared a few ideas and looked up a few of their law books and then they passed it. It took months and months and months, and they heard and they gathered evidence from Chassidim, and they heard time after time after time more and more material beneged to the Sforim and to their content, to the effect of their content. And the ultimate kavana pnimis of their content. Goyim, Goyish judges were just exposed to months upon months of material. And now all this went on the computers and it's probably all there in writing. It's probably somewhere still a huge body of on Esav and on the Goyim, as I mentioned before. And even to the point that they bring a story that one of the judges, that he was one of the main judges. He took a car one day and he drove around 770 and he parked in the service lane opposite 770 and he sat for hours just watching 770, just watching what's going on there, how people coming in and going out. I don't know if he ever saw the Rebbe go out or come in, but he saw, the whole Holakula. He sat for hours and hours. I mean, he was there. It must have been almost a full day, and he sat the whole time in his car watching. So, I mean, this is a very honest attempt on the part of a Lo Yehudi to make a genuine impression, and we see that it was a genuine case You know, it was, how do you call it, either the truth or nothing with these guys. They weren't messing around. Ultimately speaking, the truth became that Hashem and HaTorah, that's got to be in its right. It's just like you can't have, for example, it's written in Gemara, this is just a dogma. It's a you know, that every day we say in the Teves, we say that Tanya Rav Nos Neima Kishu Sheikh Eima Hodek Heitev Hodek. He's got to say that. The voice itself is good for the psalm. It's an amazing ashpur of ruchnis on Gashmis. We say it every day. Nobody pays much attention to it. That the actual voice was good for the psalm. It helped, and therefore he had to say, while he was doing it, he had to say, he had to say something. So you understand, the musically it makes sense. The voice affects the Teves and the quality of the Gashmis. Mashenkin is written. Yeah. And we find, and the Gemara over there in the sector Krisis, the Gemara says, Mashenkin beyayin. It's written that koil, if you talk too much in front of yayin, it's not good. It's not good for the wine. And the Gemara in Menachos, it's in two places in Shas, in Masechta Menachos and also in Kri. The Gemara says that psomim in the Keteras, the kol is good, or for yayin not. In other words, that yayin's got to be kept. You know, it's not good to talk too much in front of. In Pnimis Ater, it's got to be, Pnimis and Be'emas. And yet we see that these guys, really went, they really went into the pinimis of it. They didn't just let the koil spoil the whole inyan. You know what I mean? It could have, if they were just taken in the chitzanis and the whole talk, it could have ruined the whole thing. And yet nonetheless, it's mamash a pili shein kawan. And remember, that it's the last you read into the Olam HaGashmi at the Hashem and HaTorah. It's like the final. Somebody said it, and I'm starting to bring it at the time. Now I don't think they bring it so much. At the time, somebody said that it was, it's like the final achievement of Hanukkah. It's like the final light going out in the Chutz. Hey Teves, it's like the Shem and HaTorah Mamish. I feel into the communistic cup of Goyim and the judges and the whole thing. It's taken over. It's like, first of all, Chanukah, then Yud Kislev, and then Hey Teves. It's like three main points, like in history, of the conquering of the Yofutu Mayan Aselcha Chuto. And the Rebbe was medayik so many times. It's not just the token of the Mayan. Yofutu. But Yofutu Mayan Aselcha is the etzem Mayan Aselcha. They got to go out in the chut. The Mayon Kamishu, it's got to be in the chut. And that's Hey Teves, the etzem in at the token of the Sforim, well, that became the property of the Supreme Court of America, or the District Court, or whatever it was. Federal Court of America. It became the property, and it permeated into the Supreme. Eventually, the Supreme Court. No, in the appeal.
The Supreme Court of New York.
Yeah, it went up to Ohio Court. This is that's a Inish. It's kosher lataya. We have to, we got to realize that if we don't learn this from him, then we're sort of missing the path. We got to get in and be part of it. In the Mayon itself. In other words, it's like traveling in Mayon. I was up in Teves and I went for a walk, and they've got they found a lot of Mayos in and around Teves. There's a lot of them. Up in the Shomron also, they found a lot. Mayonot. Mamish Mayon. Emerson Mayon. So in a few places they built these like mikvahs where the water comes out, like the Arizal's mikvah, but bigger and more on the outside. They built these like makomas hatvila, which are being fed by these mayonas. And it's really amazing. So learning for him now is like being table in the mayo, not just in water, but not just in memso, not just kosher water, but in the mayo. Even in the etma mayo. So we got to find time, guys. Each and every one of us in his life, he's got to bring in one of the svarim, or the message of the svarim. And it's anything in Chassidus. It's not just those particular svarim. It's any Indian in Pneumat Torah. Koshchein Tzichas of the Rebbe himself. That's the day. If you want to know the secret of the Netochen, you got to ask the svarim themselves. When you get into it, you see this unbelievable ashpah in your life. It's a whole new life. And it can be from a couple of lines in a mind. You learn it, and all of a sudden you see in a message, and you see, the twist that's there. And that opens up a whole new gateway. Kenya Shlema, we don't have. That's the pshat. If we want to know what it's all about, you got to ask us for him. You got to ask us for him. We got to learn him. And therefore, Baruch Hashem, I don't want to blow any trumpets, but the trumpet of Torah doesn't do any harm if you blow it. But we meet together once a week. We learn the Emes Shema and the Rebbe Rashab's unbelievable library of Shema. I mean, it's unfathomable when you think about it. And we learn a bit of Iron Base. And I think that it has not only an effect on our knowledge of Chassidus, it has an effect on the whole room. Am I right? We had a very striking dugma of that recently. I don't want to get into anything personal, but we had a dugma of a person that for a long time he was sort of not very, and now he's rejoined us and he's come back and he takes part b'simcha. I think it's all part of the atmosphere and the avila, created by that learning. Because it's the svarim atzmon. Those are the etzim meaning of the svarim. And what can we? It's written in our yo that whenever a few people get together, they learn, Ainu, which is given by the Rebbeim, and the Rebbeim give them a special bracha. So it should be makuyim by each and every one of us. Bein v'kashmis, bein baruchni, v'chol inyonim, and the ikar should be mitoich harchova, mitoich nachas, mitoich simcha v'tuv levarim, all inyonim. So, and how do you say that? It could be that nowadays we have to be, there's an old saying in the vernacular in English, you have to be thankful for small mercies. You can't always have big mercies. So, even if you only learn, let's say, 20 minutes to this, you can learn, it's a small mercy, but you have to be tremendously thankful. Because that itself can open up a whole new world. You come to Shia, we learn for an hour. It's not a long time, but it's a whole new chapter. It's a whole new Indian. And I see that one of the things in those shirim, it's like a small Farbrengen. Am I right? It's like it's a shir, but it's also it's mashalav that come in. That's what we have to learn. Every shir has got to be a type of Farbrengen. Even when you learn on your own, you got to Farbrengen with yourself. You can't let yourself get away with it. Don't play hide and seek. Use usually it's what the Maimon is demanding. So you say, oh yeah, you just go ahead. You've got to, how do you call it, be caught by each little piece. And like we began the whole Farbrengen, Teves is a Rebbe. It's a Rebbe. It is a Rebbe, and he has for him, but he's for him everybody. And are you okay there, my boy?
Yes, it's broken.
You need to go, yeah. You must get some sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Rabbi. I'll bench now.
You want a bench? Oh, yeah. Okay. And,
learning a mimer from the Rebbe and Lag BaOmer about Shimon Bar Yochai. I was learning a mimer from the Rebbe about Lag BaOmer, about Shimon Bar Yochai, and the Rebbe said that when you learn Chassidut, it changes the actual chomri of the brain.
oh, yeah.
Your physical, actual brain changes.
It's in Toshin Teth, the Friedrich Rebbe. A whole beer, and I am from Russian. A whole beer about that, yeah. It causes extra things on the brain.
And build
Extra things.
into the brain.
And the brain actually expands. Yeah, and it forms new creases in the brain. Yeah, yeah. Sure, yeah. Yeah, you become different altogether if you learn Pnimis at time. Yeah, you get even different cups than you had. Yeah. So, just wanted to say that the other night I had a visit from some, I know, Thomas by my shir, and he was telling me this whole thing become so blown up in the press, and even in the Haredi, inverted commas, press. And all the time where there's any talk of press, they talk about it, and incidentally, just by the way, the union of Teves is the opposite of the press. The Teves is for him. Yeah, Shemin HaTorah. The press is not the Shemonah to him, because even it looks to come from a source of kedusha, it's not kedai to waste too much time on it. Anyway, one of the things that they try to apparently really publicize in this time and age is what they call hasatah. That there's a new wave of hasatah, there's a new wave of hatred against the Dashim, and there's a new this and a new that, and it's all the time being new, and it's this and that. And they're really pushing this, and they're really going on. There's never been before in such a way, the whole mice. So it's become, to the point that, and they're all the time sort of trying to make out that these, they call it, what do you call them, like Hafganot, and they're being put down by the police, and these, shalom, culture. And you get these pictures of guys being dragged away by policemen and all this sort of thing. It's terrible. And hasatah, and sinas adas, and never been kamoya. So I've just heard recently a couple of stories which mamish ma'aser listoyer, mamish sipurim afuchim. And there was this Talmud came to see me the other night, and he's panosa, not every day, but 3 times a week he has to travel on a train from somewhere quite distant in Eretz Yisrael to Tel Aviv, quite early in the morning, 6:15 train or something, I don't know. He gets quite an early train. So in the winter, it's a bit hard to daven before 6:15. It's a bit hard. First of all, you need to sleep a little bit. Secondly, is that you can't really sort of put on tefillin yet, or you can, or you can't. It's sort of, it's sort of a half hour to daven at home. So he said that there's a few Yidden and Anshi Chayil who've got together on the train, and they've met up. And they see that they travel regularly on the train. They seem to meet one another pretty regularly. So there's some sort of on the first caron, not to disturb the whole train, they make this minyan. And he said every morning they got into it now. And he said that the reaction of all the other people sitting in the compartment, where they make the minyan, is amazing. He said that what usually happens is that you get all sorts of guys doing this, covering their heads with their hands, because these guys are saying, tefillot, and it's a little noach lehem, to sit there, they sort of, do something, and they don't even know what to say, so they sort of wink at the other guy, what are you supposed to say now, so he just winks back and said, Takido man, a man, So he said that there these people coming up to them and saying, "Listen, can I take part? Do you have any tefillin?" No, I don't. But I just whatever you guys are doing, I'll go along. And he said that they don't have any problem getting a minyan. They just show up, and people come. People say, if you need my help, I'll sit close now, or whatever I'm supposed to do. He said the cooperation has been almost full, and he said that those who are anti, those who don't want to, they don't get them say, "What are you guys doing? I don't want to be disturbed by all." Well, they say it's just, but he said there are few. He said most of the people want to put their hands on the other, and he said this guys pull out their handkerchiefs and put it over their head. He said all sorts of very, very strange things happen. And some people say, is it enough for me to just say amen, or what am I supposed to say? Or, he said it's growing to the point that he has started saying, whenever he's there, when they finish, because they have to finish quick, because the train's rushing ahead, he reads Yom Yom. He tries to take a little portion. If the one of the day is a little bit sort of complex, he'll go to the next day or whatever, and he'll read it in a way that's more understanding for him. So he told me an amazing thing. He said that that the guy that's the whole Ruach HaChaya Beifanim, the minion, is a Litrak. And he said, Ma Pitom, Tefillah B'li Tzibur, and he was the one that was marish about the whole, So when Moshe, this Talmud of mine, said to him, I want to say the Hayom Yom. So he said, okay, so he's very much, so he said he's becoming quite friendly with this guy, even though he knows that he's coming, and he wears a kippah, by the way. So this guy wrote a letter to the Anhoa that on that particular train, maybe they wouldn't mind at the hour of 6:10 or 6:05 or just giving over for the whole train over the Ramko, that anybody who wants to be Mishtatef Tefillah B'Tzibur, Uyachol L'Vol Karon Mispar Chad. So they got back an answer where they said that they מבינים יותר והם מכבדים את העניין של תפילה וכל זה, אבל the Ramko on a train is only for technical matters or for what's it called? Emergency. Yeah. Only emergency or שעת חירום או דברים הטכניים שצריכים למצוא. So he's going to write them back, that this is, it's an emergency. He's going to write them back that this is something which is nogea, it's just like an emergency. And he said he hopes that they're going to get through with it. But he said they expected that they were going to have terrible, hasata, all sorts of things. He said, what's hasata? And he said, he's there 3 times a week. And he said, when he's there, certain people said, Tikralam. So, he said the other day, a guy walked up to him after he'd finished, and he read from our Yom Yom, and he just opened it anyway, and he found one somewhere in Ia, it is. It's written that, Friedrich Rebbe says that, Loi toiv hob mirala. Everybody's got something which is not good. And he said the igna with the ra is to rishlech it mevchutz, not to be mechashiv kamoya asor leazozo lishlech es aloi tev leeretz gezela. That's the lesson. In Yom Yom. So he gets so many. He reads out, to everybody. He's supposed to get shout, So he said he's taking all his tools and getting everything packed in. The train's getting in towards it. All of a sudden, this guy comes up to him and he says, he's afraid without a kippah, isn't he? He says to him, Ata, karata, shelakulam yesh v'tzchim, he said, Li, Hashem, ein rayata. The sea hapashtas, the sea hapashtas, he says, Ani avadti al zeh, Hamon, אני כבר סיימתי. So Moshe said to him, listen, take it easy. So he said, אל תביא לי מהתניא. He said, אני כף הקדוש מהרב עצמו. So Moshe looked at him and Moshe said to him, what's your name? And he said, Shneur Zalman. He said, Moshe. And he said, I'm from the Nechtei I'm from Nechtei Velatanya. And he said, in our family, it's nahug that every 4th generation you call Shneur Zalman. Every 4th child, like generation, in the Seder of the Dur is going to be called Shneur Zalman. He said, I was one of the 4s. He said, that's why I'm called Shneur Zalman. And he said, Ani Anti Batanya. He said, L'chomim Warav, V'geresh he said, אני מאמין שאני שמתי, so Moshe looked at him very carefully and he was trying to work out maybe he's a bit funny, But then he saw that it was Betmimas Aki Gedola. Mimas, I keep shooter. Mimas on Nefesh. Talking out of him. There wasn't anything wrong with him. So he said he gave him a whole beer. It's what's called Dakasara. You know, it's like, it's rather we don't notice ourselves, but the real means that we've got to pick that and get rid of that. And that needs a tremendous amount of self-examination. And it needs you to join our prayers. If you maybe like to join the prayers, you put on tefillin and you pray, you'll realize that you still got a little that you got to send away to us, you said. So he says to him, I said, I need to go up there. Yeah. Now, what he meant it really, he really meant that he had done what the Alter Rebbe writes. He said, Alter Rebbe, I karate tatan. He said, Ani nechad harav. So, and the other night, he's already gone home now. He started this thing working, a dog. Dove came from America. And Dave said that in America, wherever you go now, you know, you have this sort of itanyanut. Not only of the yidden that you're approaching, but usually, he said, you get nudged by all these, he said that therefore the bochum that go out now on all have to have something to do with Sheva Mitzvahs. You know. It's something you just have to take. Because you get nudged so much by these people of all sorts to ask you, is he still there? Anyway, it's so, you know, I'm asking the question, where's the hasata? You know, ever hasata? Elamai, there's no hasata. They have to have that there be hasata. The government and all these guys, all these Rishonim, and all these Fadreta, they have to make sure that there's hasata. Because they see that they are losing. They're losing their hold. Right? So they've got to make sure that there's hasata. Otherwise, where are they?
They do it purpose, sure.
So they dream up hasata. They keep trying to make it happen. But by the people, ain't hasata. I spoke to a bocher in Tzfas. But you should realize, I've already mentioned this. Bochim in Tzfas, their commitment to the Meftoim is just, I've never seen the like of it. During Hanukkah, they would just day and night keep shooting. From early in the morning, ad muchar b'layla, kol layla, kol yom, Meftoim. They have a map, and they have everything planned out. Each yeshuv and every spot in the whole of the north, it's got to be visited. It's amazing. So they say openly, you know, about the Rebbe Melech Mashiach, and they talk, and they come with the Mashiach flags. So he said they were in a yeshuv, and they'd been invited by the Moatzah to come in and talk for the children and for the teachers. And then some other people came in also to listen. And so this guy said, you know, he said, you know, the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach said kach v'kach. So the Rosh HaMatzah, he piped up and said, Al tishaknea, rak tagid, al tishaknea. So he said, Mani shikneitia, lo shikneitia v'chad. And he Rebbe Melech HaMashiach. So he sort of thought about from him this Rosh HaMatzah. He said, Tov. Al tishaknea, he said, you know, just to say the Rebbe Melech HaMashiach, that's like being mishaknea. Then he thought about it for a couple of hours. He said, Tov. So I don't know where the hasata is. Well, the hasata is in their heads. It's a symbol that they have to have of in the hearts of the people. There's no hasata. The hearts of Yidden, Libi er legiula. How's it written? Ani yeshena begalusa. Libi er legiula. It's around, guys. It's everywhere.
The truth is that they know that, and they're trying to say it.
Right.
They're trying to say that it's not that way.
Right.
That, you know, it's the way they say it.
Oh, they're trying to say that they're not in the Gilus, they're in the Medina.
Yeah.
They're awake. Yeah.
They already know it, and they're trying to stop it.
I remember, just to this, guys. So listen, everybody will not be angry, but with everybody's wishes, I'm gonna. I promised to come for a couple of hours, and in my present state, for whatever may be the reason, it's a big effort for me. I don't want to sound dramatical, I'm not feeling well. It's a big effort for me. And so I'm going to retire, but if you guys want to go on, you want to. But I must say that it's been very geschmack just to be here. First of all, in Benzian's house. I haven't been in his house in years. I haven't visited his home in years. I didn't even know which home it was. I don't know, was this one or the one down? So I had to call him and I said, yeah, where I'll tell you. And having got that part of it right, it's been very geschmack and very special. And it's a very special Yom Teves. It's a duchnistic, how do you call it? It's full of takers. Yehuda talking to Yisrael, the money, and it's full of tremendous lichtigkeit. And nowadays, it's totally hopeful. If you want to be illuminating, you got to have a bit of taker. You can't be just bad. You got to talk clear. Okay, so.
Yeah. The story about the minion on the train. I heard the same story a couple of days ago. I don't want to introduce another Meirish Chayra into the Farbrengen. On the same train, there was a female journalist who reacts in quite a different manner than what you said.
Different story. That's for another sort of story. That's you mean on the Chaydi buses?
No, I mean on the train where they had the minion. Morning.
That's a different thing.
She reacted quite violently.
Yeah, no, but that's you should do it as a yotzim in a cloth, and because she's a journalist, because she represents the press, and they want to wake up this whole area. Although this bacher that told me, this young man, he's been traveling for months on the train, and he says, "What's the real story? What one Meshuggah does is not a riot. That's the whole thing." That is
trying to make the issues.
That's the whole thing. What one Meshuggah does is not a riot. What one Meshuggah does is not a riot. Good. Okay. So, listen, would somebody have a telephone? Somebody, because I got a taxi driver, the person that I always travel with him. And didn't ring. Oh, hello, David. אתה יכול לבוא לאותו הבית שהיינו? אתה בא. טוב, אוקיי, תודה רבה.
יום חמישי.
Alone, you came out.
No, it's my way. I haven't been in 2 years here.
You know, when I was in New York, in Boston this year, that course, I was in Boston. I want to give some people some of the music that I wrote, like Hillen and all sorts of things like that. I don't know what to do. There's one lady there. She's very, very favorable to me because her father was Jewish. For some reason, she likes Jewish people. And she's, you know, maybe I should get in contact with her to try to get my music. What?
Does people be submitting or what? People what? How many guys wash?
I didn't, yeah.
Who
washed? You washed.
So you got a mezuzah. I don't think you have a meaning for a mezuzah, Michelle.
And listen, everybody, I would like everybody should give a blessing to this house and to all of us. And
Many blessings.
everything should work out
You
well.
buy it, Benzi?
Yeah, everybody in the house.
You should buy it. You should buy it.
Yeah.
No?
Hi.
Someone buy it.
And show buy it, yeah.
No, everybody, we should all have a blessing.
I should
Show buy it.
Why do you
Show them buy it?
You should buy it. Nobody should buy it.
And then the to Rav Shner Zaman Ben Sarsh, gesund and
Oh.
chayus. Not Shemayer. Chayim, chayim.
Did you see the gula with everyone together? But you're not. Did you buy it?
I'm gonna
Oh, mate.
don't forget this there.
Wired up these days, Rav Gaffney.
Buy a lot of it.
You got you all wired up.
Gaffney, he talked about the token. Benson needs the token to buy the house. That's all.
I need
Token
some
for the
money.
kesef.
To buy the house.
Need money.
And the kesef.
You know, it's interesting, just a tidbit of the tax account. It's very interesting that this, what I gave up for in the name of the Rebbe in Toshinim, that the Rebbe learned this whole Indian from Yehuda, that you have to go with a teikev, and it has to be, you know, with a taxis, hamalucha, but it's got to be with a damat. Almost like you know, an informing of the king or whoever it is, you know, the Moshe or whoever it should be. You know, it's in his benefit that he listened carefully. They say that Marash, you know, the whole idea was Chatchila Riba and everything. It was a whole shit about it. It wasn't just a, you know, a niggin or an idea. It was a whole. And they say that the Rebbe Marash approached the ministers of the government in the highest, actually the highest ministers, the most powerful ones, many times about issues in public, and he never made an appointment with them. He would just go down to the building where this particular Tsar was, and he would inquire as if today the Tsar is in the building. From the outside, he would inquire at the Tsar. And if the answer was yes, he would get out of his coat, he'd walk into the building, go all the way up the stairs, and he'd keep asking, where is this Tsar? And all this people saying, you know, who are you? And he said, is this the place of the Tsar? They said, yes, but you can't. Oh, thank you. So he walked past all the secretaries and the whole people, and he'd get right up to the personal sort of secretary, and he would just say, I'm sorry, you know, you just have to let me in, I'm Schneerson. You know, he would say, so I'm Schneerson. And he'd just have to let me in. He'd walk up and he'd knock on the door, and he would go in without an appointment or anything, and he would talk with the, and this was on many occasions, that the Rebbe Marash took sudden, quick, adequate shots. He would travel out of Lubavitch, go to a certain point, come in, get out of the camp, walk into, dodge all the resistance, walk right up to the door of the particular Tsar himself, knock on his door and get in. And then he would say to him, B'toikev haki gadol, that I've come representing this and this and this, Taino on the part of the Yidden, and you've got to see to it that it be done. It was called a Toikev. And that's the Nakuda that the Rebbe learns out when he got to Yehuda. But that Hagoshes Yehuda, the years before Yosef revealing, we've got to take into account what was the spora on the part of Yehuda, and what was, you know, as far as he was concerned, Yosef was the Moshe B'Kol Ha'aretz. And his Hagosha hadn't itself, you know, and all the nuances that Rashi brings in will add up to this combination of Teikev, and yet at the same time acceptance of him being the king, but at the same time demanding. And we see that in the Rebbe Marash, for Teikev haki, you know, special, that he would make these shoot journeys. He never had any time to mess around, and he never waited, and he never asked any seconds. He just walked past the wall, walked to into the personal office of the person concerned. And Berov Hamikrim, he was Matli. Berov Hamikrim was Matli. So, there's a Musa Haskell for that in our lives, we go. If we got to realize that, that's the way. That's the Nakuda. Previous is to, to go to, not to be a schmatter like every our own, never Shabbat or whoever it might be. Go good to Simcha. And that's my that's my little tidbit that I want to throw in. Yes. So,
how many people ate bread there?
Benzone, you watched Benzone?
No, I don't want
You didn't know?
There's none of you. There's 3 or 4. But you can make it. You watch?
I know. I stayed like every coin. Where's the restroom?
Yeah.
Where's the restroom?
You go outside.
Voice time. Neither mention.